I'm standing in the middle of Christie's, New York, fluorescent spotlights turning the auction floor into a frozen lake of white fire. My painting, 6 feet of raw canvas, layered with the charcoal ghosts of every night I cried myself to sleep, hangs behind the auctioneer like a verdict. Bidding paddle 37 shoots up, 3.2 million. Gasps ripple through the room like electricity through wet skin. My phone buzzes against my thigh. Mom flashes across the screen. I slide it open with one shaking thumb. "Darling," she whispers, "your sister S in the bathroom crying. She says you ruined her life." I stare at the stage. The auctioneer's gavel hovers. Going once. I taste copper, bitten tongue, years of swallowed rage. Going twice. I lift my gaze until it locks on the back row. There she is. My big sister, Sloane, mascara running, cheeks blotched the same shade of red they were when we were kids, and she told me my drawings looked like roadkill. It's sold. The hammer cracks like bone. $3.7 million. Sloane's mouth forms a perfect little O of disbelief. I smile, small, polite, deadly calm, and mouth 3 words she can read from 20 yards away. I told you. Comment your city. Where are you watching from right now? Drop it below so I can picture the map lighting up. My name is Rowan Leeton. I'm 31, 5'5" in the boots that make me feel taller than my doubts, and until 2 hours ago my bank balance was $312.46. I grew up in a 2-bedroom rental in Asheville, North Carolina, where the mountains press against the sky like clenched fists. Mom waitress nights at the same diner since I was 6. Dad painted houses until the day his ladder slid on wet leaves and gravity rewrote our future. I was 12. Workers' comp covered the funeral, not the mortgage. Sloane, 3 years older, all cheekbones and certainty, decided art was a hobby for people who could afford groceries. She became the family CFO at 15, clipping coupons like they were $100 bills. I kept sketching on the backs of diner receipts, charcoal sticks stolen from the craft aisle at Walmart. Every report card, every parent-teacher night, every scholarship application. Sloane translated the world into numbers that never added up to art school. Rowan, the ROI on a BFA is negative infinity. She said it the way other people say, "Bless you." At 17, I got into RISD. Full ride. When the acceptance email came, Sloane was leaning over my shoulder scrolling through tuition dorms, meal plans, supply fees not covered. "Congratulations," she said, voice flat as asphalt. "You just committed us to $14,000 a year in living expenses we don't have." Mom cried happy tears, Sloane cried budget tears. So I went anyway. Freshman year, I mailed home a charcoal self-portrait. Mom taped it to the fridge. Sloane stuck a post-it on the forehead. "Can we eat this?" I laughed then. It felt easier than crying. 4 years later, I graduated summa cum laude with $87,000 in federal debt and a portfolio no gallery north of Atlanta would touch. Sloane, meanwhile, had turned her side hustle reselling thrifted designer bags into a 6-figure Etsy empire. She bought Mom a Subaru and herself a condo downtown with reclaimed brick accent walls. I moved back into my childhood bedroom, walls still sticky-tacked with high school sketches. Every morning I brewed coffee in the cracked Mr. Coffee and walked downtown, portfolio under one arm, rejection emails already piling up in my inbox like dead leaves. I waitressed brunch shifts at the same diner Mom used to, trading tips for tubes of paint. Nights, I painted on the floor, knees aching, headphones blasting Phoebe Bridgers until the neighbors banged on the wall. Sloane dropped by weekly with constructive feedback. "That one looks like melted crayons. Who's gonna pay for a canvas that's just black? Maybe try painting flowers, people like flowers." She always left a 20 on the counter for groceries, like art was a charity case. 2 years of that, then 3. My 30th birthday cake was a stale muffin with a single candle. Sloane Instagrammed it with the caption, "Supporting my starving artist sis, 30 and thriving." I blew the candle out and wished, not for fame, not for money, just for one person to look at my work and see something real. The next morning, a water pipe burst in the attic, soaked half my canvases. I dragged them into the backyard, tears blurring the paint into galaxies, and took a photo on my cracked iPhone 8. I posted it to an anonymous Reddit thread, rot or reframe. One reply, DM me. That DM changed everything. But before I tell you about the stranger who saw galaxies too, I need you to understand how deep the mockery ran. What would you have done if every person you loved told you your dream was a joke? Pause the video and answer in the comments. Seriously, I want to know. It starts 6 months ago at Mom's 55th birthday dinner. The restaurant is a converted church, vaulted ceiling, stained glass, the whole holy cow this is expensive vibe. Sloane reserved the private loft. She's wearing a cream blazer that costs more than my car didn't. I arrive late, canvas tube slung across my back like a sword I'm too scared to draw. Inside is a gift, a triptych of Mom at sunrise, oil on reclaimed barn wood. I spent 3 weeks sanding splinters out of boards that once sheltered horses. Sloane greets me with air kisses that miss my cheeks on purpose. Please tell me you didn't bring one of your projects. I ignore her, lift the tube onto the table. Mom's eyes light up. Sloane intercepts. Rowan, this is linen-draped mahogany. Maybe set it on the floor. Translation, your art is dirty. Dinner passes in a haze of small talk. Mom keeps glancing at the tube like it's a wrapped puppy. Dessert arrives, key lime cheesecake with gold leaf flecks, and finally Mom says, "Can I open Rowan's gift now?" Sloane's smile freezes. Actually, Mom, we have a slideshow. She taps her phone. A projector descends from the ceiling like a spider. The first slide, a photo of Mom at 17, bell-bottoms and feathered hair. Cute. Second slide, Sloane and Mom in matching Christmas aprons. Third slide, my charcoal self-portrait from freshman year. Yes, the one with the post-it, now blown up 10 feet tall. Across the forehead, someone has photoshopped the same yellow post-it. Can we eat this? The room erupts in laughter, not kind laughter, the kind that scrapes skin. Mom's hand flies to her mouth. Sloane, why? It's a roast, Mom, lighten up. Sloane shrugs. Besides, it's not like Rowan minds, she posts worse on Instagram. Except I don't post at all, I'm too busy painting. My ears ring. The canvas tube feels suddenly ridiculous, like showing up to a gunfight with a crayon. I unzip it anyway. Mom reaches for the triptych. Sloane steps between us. Let's not scratch the table. She takes the first panel, flips it over. Oil smears across her palm. And oops. She doesn't say sorry. Gasps, someone laughs again, nervous now. Mom's eyes fill. I can't breathe. I grab the remaining 2 panels, shove them back into the tube, and bolt. Behind me, Sloane calls, "Ro, come on, it's a joke." I hit the sidewalk running, heels skidding on wet cobblestones. The canvas tube bangs against my spine like a broken wing. I don't stop until the stained glass glow is a smear behind me, and the only light comes from neon bar signs. I slide down the brick wall of a closed bookstore, knees to chest, and do something I haven't done since Dad's funeral. I scream into my own hands. My phone buzzes. Instagram notification. At Sloane Lee tagged you in a story. I open it. Video, Sloane dabbing oil paint off her fingers with a monogrammed napkin. Caption, when your sister thinks she's Picasso, art fail family roast. The view count climbs, 12001500. My chest caves inward. I turn my phone off, but the image is burned into my retinas. That night I go home, slice the ruined triptych off its stretchers, and gesso over the faces. I paint until 4 a.m. Not flowers. Not anything recognizable. Just rage in ultramarine and cadmium red. By sunrise, the canvas looks like a crime scene. I post a detail shot to the same anonymous Reddit thread. If I burn this, will the smoke be toxic? The same stranger replies, don't burn it, send it to me, I'll pay shipping. I DM back, you can't afford it. He responds with a link. It's a private jet charter quote from Teterboro to Asheville. My laugh is half sob. Fine, I wrap the crime scene canvas in garbage bags and drop it at the FEDEX by the mall. No return address. I don't even sign it. 3 weeks later, my phone rings at 3:07 a.m. Unknown NYC number. I answer. Ms. Leeton, male voice, mid-Atlantic accent. This is Julian Voss. I represent a client who wishes to acquire more of your work. Discreetly. Price open. I sit up so fast my forehead smacks the bunk above. How did you get this number? Your Reddit IP, Ms. Leeton, we're thorough. Pause. How much for the last piece? I ask, throat dry. 100,000, and first right of refusal on everything you create next. I almost drop the phone. Then I remember the birthday dinner, Sloane's laugh. I close my eyes. Deal, I say, but I have conditions. We talk for 43 minutes. When I hang up, I stare at the cracked ceiling and feel something shift inside me, tectonic. I don't tell Sloane. I don't tell Mom. I start painting like the world is ending, and only canvas can save me. Rate the betrayal so far on a 0-10. I'm genuinely curious. Mom. The next morning, Mom meets me at the diner before opening. She's still in her church dress from the night before, mascara shadows rim her eyes. I told Sloane she crossed a line, she says, stirring sweetener into black coffee like it's poison. I trace a scratch in the formica. She always crosses lines, we just keep redrawing them. Mom reaches across, wraps her fingers around my wrist. I hung your first drawing on the fridge because I knew you had something she didn't. What's that? Vision, the thing that makes you see horses in splinters. She smiles, but it trembles. Don't let her clip your wings, baby. I nod, but the words feel too light to armor me. Sloane. 2 days later, Sloane texts, brunch. We meet at her favorite rooftop place, bottomless mimosas, $42. She's wearing oversized sunglasses and an apology smile that doesn't reach her lips. I over-roasted you, she says, sliding a gift bag across the table. Inside, a set of acrylic paints, student grade, and a coupon for a real art class at Hobby Lobby. I push it back, I don't do acrylics. She sighs theatrically. Ro, you're so sensitive. Look, I posted an apology on my story, damage control. She shows me her phone, a boomerang of her hugging the monogrammed napkin with the caption, love my talented sis even when she's extra. Swipe up for her Etsy, she chirps. I stare at her, I don't have an Etsy. Yet, she winks, I can set one up for you. I leave before the mimosas arrive. Julian. Julian flies me to New York. First time on a plane since college. He meets me at Teterboro wearing a navy pea coat and the kind of smile that doesn't need to try. His client, he calls her only the collector, wants to see process, not just product. We tour a Chelsea loft converted into a studio. Skylights, 20-foot ceilings, fridge stocked with La Croix. All yours, Julian says. 2 conditions, no social media, no names, the work must speak anonymously. I hesitate, I need to pay rent back home. He hands me a black Amex with no name embossed. Consider it handled, just create. I swallow, for how long? Until you're empty or until you're ready. That night I FaceTime Mom. She's heating soup, eyes wide at the studio tour. Is this real? She whispers. I nod. Sloane walks into frame behind Mom, phone to her ear. She freezes when she sees the loft. Rowan, where the hell? I hang up. The diner crew. I give 2 weeks' notice at the diner. My manager, Carla, corners me by the dish pit. Girl, you've been glowing like you swallowed a star. What gives? I almost tell her. Instead I say, family stuff. She hugs me, smelling of bacon grease and lavender lotion. Don't forget who loved you when your shoes had holes. I promise I won't. Reddit. I keep posting progress shots, never faces, never signatures. The thread grows from 300 to 30,000 followers overnight. One commenter recognizes the brushwork style. This feels like the burn it chick. I don't confirm. Another writes, if these ever hit a gallery, I'm camping outside. I screenshot and send to Julian. He responds with a simple thumbs up emoji. Social silence. Sloane escalates. She posts a carousel titled Where S. Rowan Conspiracy Theories. Swipe, grainy zoom of the loft building I never named. Caption, missing or clout chasing. Comments flood. Maybe rehab. Maybe witness protection. Maybe she finally got a real job. I read them at 2 a.m., shaking. Julian finds me curled on the studio floor. You can respond, he says. I can't, the work only works if I stay invisible. He nods, but I see doubt flicker. Mom's secret. Mom calls, voice trembling. Sloane S. planning an intervention. She thinks you've joined a cult. I snort, the cult of paying rent. She's booking a flight to New York next week. Ice slides down my spine. Julian arranges extra security keycards. I paint faster. The ultimatum. Julian sits me down. Collectors ready to go public. One condition, reveal at the Christie's auction. High stakes, are you in? My heart jackhammers, what if nobody bids? They already have. Opening bid, 2 million, anonymous proxy. I stare at him, why? Because the work is that good, and because sometimes the universe balances accounts. I think of Sloane's laugh, the oil smear, the post-it. I nod. But first I fly home, one last conversation. Final confrontation, pre-game. I show up unannounced on Sloane's doorstep. She opens in silk pajamas, phone in hand, mid-livestream. Gotta go, she tells her followers. Family drama. She ends the stream. I hold up the Christie's catalog, my painting on the cover, credited only as RL. Her face drains. I say, we need to talk. What would you do in my shoes right now? Pause and comment. We sit at her reclaimed wood table, the same one where she once told me acrylics were starter paint. She pours rosé into crystal stems. I decline. I know it's you, she says first. The brushwork, the receipts, Mom's signature on the grocery list you used. I nod. She laughs, bitter, brittle. So what, you're Banksy now? Hiding behind anonymity because you're scared. No, I say. I'm hiding because the work needed to speak without your voice drowning it. Her jaw tightens. You could have told me. You roasted me in front of Mom's friends. You posted it to 1 million followers. That was content. That was cruelty. Silence stretches. She stands paces. Do you have any idea how this looks? My sister, the mystery art star, and I'm the last to know. I set the catalog on the table, open to the lot page. You're not the last. Christie's knows me only as RL. You're the first who gets the choice. What choice? To show up Thursday night and watch, or stay home and pretend none of this touches you. She scoffs. You want me to clap while you humiliate me. I want you to see what happens when you stop laughing. Her phone buzzes, notification avalanche. She glances, thumbs flying to mute. I continue, Mom's coming. She'll sit front row. I bought the seat next to her for you. Sloane's eyes fill, surprising us both. You always had to be the victim, she whispers. I lean forward. I was never the victim. I was the one who kept painting while you kept counting. I leave the catalog on the table, walk out. Auction night. Christie's buzzes like a hive in white gloves. I arrive via side entrance, hair twisted up, mask of composure. Julian hands me a badge, artist. In the auditorium, Mom sits front row, clutching a tissue. The seat beside her, empty until 3 minutes before start, finally fills. Sloane slides in, sunglasses still on. The lights dim, my painting appears on stage. Auctioneer begins, Lot 47, untitled diptych by RL Oil and Mixed Media, starting at 2 million. Paddles rise like synchronized birds. 2.5. 3. Sloane's sunglasses slip down her nose. 3.5. A new bidder enters from the back, an elderly woman in emerald silk. I recognize her, the collector. She lifts her paddle, 4. Gavel hovers. A murmur ripples, emerald woman never loses. But then the phone bidder jumps, 4.2. Sloane's head swivels, She recognizes the number prefix, her own investment firm. She pales. I let the realization settle. Julian leans in. Your sister shorted tech last quarter. The firm's liquidating non-essentials. They're buying art as hedge. Translation: Sloane's company is bidding against her sister's art unknowingly. The room crackles. 4.5. 4.7. Emerald Woman smiles serene. Final hammer, 4.7 million. Sold to the firm whose quarterly report Sloane presents next week. She will stand in front of investors, click to the slide labeled Asset Appreciation, and see my painting projected 10 feet tall, unsigned, undeniable, unprofitable to ignore. Mom claps so hard her bracelet breaks, beads scattering like applause. Sloane sits frozen, sunglasses reflecting stage lights like coins over her eyes. Later, at the after-party, Emerald Woman approaches. Rowan, she says, using my name for the first time, your sister's firm will insure the piece for $5 million. Their premium just tripled. And you? She presses a discreet envelope into my hand. Own 12% of the auction house's preferred stock now. Congratulations. Inside, a single share certificate and a handwritten note. For every time she told you art was worthless. I tuck it into my clutch. Across the room, Sloane downs champagne like water. Our eyes meet. I smile, small, polite, victorious. She looks away first. 1 month later, I'm back in Asheville, sitting on the porch swing with Mom. Fireflies again, but the air feels different, lighter, like it's been paid off. Sloane arrives carrying a cardboard box. She sets it at my feet. Inside, every post-it she ever stuck on my drawings, now laminated like museum artifacts. I thought maybe, she says, voice rough, you could collage them into something. I look at her, really look. Her eyes are tired, ringed with humility. I already did, I say. She blinks. The Christie's piece, those are your post-its under the paint. Her breath catches. Mom squeezes my hand. Sloane sits on the step, head in her hands. I don't know how to fix it. Start by laughing with me, not at me, I say. She nods, shoulders shaking. Later, we hang the laminated post-its on the fridge, crooked, overlapping, ridiculous. Mom snaps a photo. Caption, Roots and Wings. Sloane reposts it, no hashtags. I go back to New York the next morning, but the studio feels different now. Bigger, like it can hold more than just my rage. I start a new series. Sisters, Mountains, Diner Receipts Turn to Gold Leaf. Emerald Woman buys the first 3 before they're dry. Mom uses her share of the sale to open a community art space in the old diner after it closes. Carla runs the kitchen. Local kids paint the walls. Sloane volunteers to teach business classes, how to price your worth without apologizing. I drop by on opening day. Kids swarm me with questions. One girl tugs my sleeve. Miss Rowan, do people ever laugh at you? I kneel, all the time until they don't. She grins, gap-toothed. I'm gonna paint a dragon so big they can't laugh. I hand her a fresh charcoal stick. Start here. Outside, the mountains press against the sky, but now they look like open hands, not fists. Rate this story 0-10 in the comments. Be honest, I can take it. Then tell me, what would you paint if nobody could stop you?